feels like the sunlight's dying faster, even though we didn't adjust any daylight savings and stuff yet. Although with that in mind, what was going on today? I was reading more stories for whatever reason in recent times, like yesterday and now today, of people saying drones are, quote, spying on them and so forth. How about this one? This one says, women share anger after Brighton Beach drone filming. What are the odds are that it's an inspired drone like what they show in the picture? It says, young women in bikinis were angry about a drone which appeared to film them at the beach. The women in their early 20s enjoyed a swim in the sea at Brighton Beach and said that after they got out, a drone flew up to them. They said they felt harassed by the drone and do not want to be filmed close up. One of the girls who was part of the incident, who asked to only be named as Rebecca, said, at first we thought it was filming the beach, but when it was at our eye level, we were 100% sure it was looking at us. It felt like it was there for an uncomfortably long time. We were wearing quite revealing clothing because we were on the beach. Rebecca, 22, was part of a group of 5 girls who had traveled from London for a friend's birthday on Sunday, August 14th. Friends Rihanna and Freya, both 24, said they felt uncomfortable as the drone lingered on them for a number of minutes, with the girls saying they wanted to throw a rock at the machine. According to guidance from the government and Civil Aviation Authority, responsibilities for drone pilots include to not fly within 50 meters of a person and also to ensure that any footage taken does not breach privacy laws. So it is kind of interesting how initially, according to this anyways, they assumed it was capturing just the beach, but then afterwards, I guess, they felt it was capturing them because it was on the same level, from what this indicates anyways. It says the girls also say that they have since had people reach out to them on social media to share similar experiences. Rebecca added that she wants, quote, stronger rules to come into effect around this. And she even goes on further to say there isn't enough awareness around it. There's nothing that could help us defend ourselves. The incident has since been reported to Sussex Police, with a spokesman saying that further contact would be made in due course. And afterwards, it seems like it just goes into details of what you should and shouldn't do in terms of things like regulations and guidelines over there. But I'm just thinking in general, again, you don't know if you were, quote, being the one that captured. I know so many people where someone could be flying a drone, let's just say near a building or something like that. Literally, all they're going is up and down or something like that. Yet someone thinks because they see the drone in the building, it must be focused on them. Would you say that, for example, if you're on a beach, someone has their camera, they're capturing just regular photos, selfies, would you get, I don't know, uptight about that? All of a sudden, like, hey, make sure I'm not in there. At the same time, it is a little weird, I must say, where if you are that concerned in a public place where anyone could see you and all that, why aren't you afraid of some creep with the binoculars or something like that? That's just what I'm wondering in general. Because even here saying there's not enough awareness about the issue, not enough is being done, I would say it's the other way around. Do you know how prejudiced and discriminating people are who have no idea what the tech is like and so forth? They think, for example, you get such close-ups to people like a consumer drone that's absolutely ludicrous. You're like a little dot in a lot of cases. Yet, for whatever reason, when they see someone flying a drone, it's automatic prejudice. Like they want to, I don't know, swear, harm them or something like that. And you read all the stories, people illegally shooting work drones and stuff down. I mean, it's the complete opposite, in my opinion, in terms of not enough awareness. It's people are too ignorant about it overall. It kind of reminds me actually of a conversation I had with a person, and like here, I was just flying it, no issues or whatever, but for whatever reason, the guy comes up to me and just asks like, hey, what are you doing? Like that really suspicious type of tone of voice. And I'm just thinking, well, I'm just capturing the scenery, etc., etc. And then afterwards he goes, okay, well, I just had to come up to you because we've had people before, quote, spy on us and so forth with the drone. I don't know if that's the case, maybe it is, but for whatever reason, he felt the need to go up to people and question them. And I even mentioned before, and it's true, would you do that in any other things in life? For example, his argument is, well, it's happened, quote, once or whatever before, so everyone's a suspect now. So are you telling me, let's just use as an example of race, where if one person of a certain race committed a crime in your neighborhood, are you gonna go up to every single person, or let's just say that skin color, and say, hey, you must be a gangster or a criminal because we had this one guy the other day that committed crimes? How would you react, for example, if there was someone who now literally went up to everyone of a certain, let's say, color in a very suspicious tone every time they walk by the neighborhood and everyone's like, hey, what are you doing here? Most people would say, what the heck, stop being so prejudiced, correct? It's the same thing in here, in my opinion. I mean, we can't stop people 100%. I guarantee there are bad apples and so forth, but overall, the hysteria is way worse in terms of people being uneducated and unaware in terms of how most people use the tech. I know for myself, I don't know about everyone else like these people here, but I try to be consistent. Just because there's one bad apple here and there, I can't put everyone in the same bucket, encourage over-the-top regulations and all that. You have to try to understand it, I guess, from every point of view and determine, okay, what's the most reasonable way to deal with it. Even here, you say there's not enough. There's already laws, for example, where if they're, quote, spying on you, voyeurism and stuff, there's laws about that already. And the other thing I read today was kind of interesting. It should have been a good thing, but apparently there's a lot of backlash. NVIDIA announced their new RTX 40 series graphics cards, and as you would expect, it's something more powerful and all that. Like this one says, NVIDIA delivers quantum leap in performance, introduces new era of neural rendering with GeForce RTX 40 series. Now, of course, you can get into all the technical details in terms of how great the card is compared to its, I guess, predecessors and all that. For example, just talking about things like what, 83 teraflops of shader power, 191 effective ray tracing teraflops, etc., etc. But by far, it seems like a lot of people online were saying that's it, no NVIDIA this year because of their pricing structure. Wow, I couldn't believe this in terms of the pricing. I know last year and all that, there was a huge price increase for things like computer parts just due to things like the manufacturing process and all that with the shutdown, so prices have to go up. But look at this. For example, it says starting at what, $899 for the RTX 80? And for reference, on the lower end models last year, like what, the RTX 3060 starting at $329? What is with this insane price increase? Now, the theory is apparently there's been a huge crash, for example, with things like crypto and all that. So a lot of people are trying to get rid of their graphics cards and no one are paying outrageous prices anymore. So there's so much inventory. So the theory is they are intentionally pricing this so high that people are going to say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to buy the last generation cards just so they can get rid of the stock. That's the theory anyways, because who in the right mind is going to pay that much money for, I guess, even though it's the new and greatest thing, so to speak, that's way too expensive for a graphics card. And the other thing that got people really upset is how many times when you buy these graphics cards, they would often have the same models but with more memory and certain ones which cost more. But in this case, it seems like they have one with the same model with different memory, and at the same time, it actually has less features and all that. Like this one here says what? The RTX 4080 12GB has 7,680 CUDA cores, and the 16GB has 9,728 CUDA cores. So people are wondering, what is going on? Why do you have basically two cards of the same model with different specs per se? The only difference should be normally with things like the memory. On top of that, with the price, at that point, you might as well, for many people, you might as well just get the highest end one. Maybe that's the intent, but yeah. I think they basically gave people like AMD a huge opportunity if they do it right anyways, in terms of making the price a lot more competitive or way cheaper. I could easily see them getting more market share, but yeah, that is crazy with how much they increased the price. How common is that nowadays as an example where people walk around, let's say, a park with these huge camera lenses and all that? Imagine if everyone goes, you're spying on me, look, it's pointing in my direction. Like, to me, it's pretty clear it's capturing the scenery and all that, but again, you don't do that for most other things in life, so it's kind of weird how people still do that with things like drones all the time. See you guys later.